Well, you get to make one more choice tonight, young man. You either give Sky his rematch, or I send these two men to the ring right now and give you the type of pounding your girlfriend dreams about.
We ready to roll?
Broadcasting live from the internet, it's Tuesday night, and this is the Panels on Pages podcast.
Big boys playing with big toys.
This is quality content.
The boomers are into it.
Hey man, I just show up.
With your hosts, Lee Rodriguez.
I am a visionary. Like, oh, you have a podcast? I'm like, no, that's not me. That's somebody else.
Jason Nyes.
Yeah, sure. I'm not getting any vegetables in my diet. I'm just a thick boy.
Jose Guzman.
Is Jose on the show tonight?
He says he's coming.
It's like Elton John all over again, just minus the death threats.
Kelly Harris.
Reach your hand in your pants there, big boy. That's not me. I don't sound like that anymore.
And our good buddy Mahoney.
And Mahoney's here. What's up, Mahoney?
We can do just glorious, wonderful things on our phones, people.
No one's ever done either of this before.
It's gonna be massive.
It's going to be great. I mean, obviously, I think it'll be great.
And it's all killer, no filler.
My seat's on fire! Your take's so hot!
Come on. It's so good. It's pretty good. It's there. It's reliable. You know what you're getting every single time.
Man, I'm so glad you found us.
You're all terrible people, and I'm glad you're my friend.
Put that in the intro.
That's really funny.
Over 500 episodes, and you'd think they'd have the hang of it by now.
It seems like the concept that would run its course very quickly. What is happening, everybody? Today is Tuesday, April 26, 2022, and this is episode number 596 of the Panels on Pages podcast. I am your
94.
host, the Lord Reverend Lee Rodriguez. You need what?
It was 94. 594.
What did I say?
596.
Well, that's not true. My notes even say 594. It says 594 in front of me. Fucking hell. I'm Lee. It's nice. It's Kelly. It's all fucked. Oh, God. Mahoney is at the Disney's, and Jose is becoming the king of Chicago. So,
Well, he's in San Antonio now?
Is he?
Yeah. Because remember,
San Antonio, where the vagina roses are?
Yes, the vagina roses. Yeah, he had that connection through Nashville.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah, Jose sent us a picture of this vagina made out of flowers that was really something. But he just sends us so much.
It's a, like I said, it's an attention grabber. Like, if I'm walking around the floor, literally any floor, and I see that thing, I'm going to go, hey, whoa, that's something special.
What product is this?
That is something you just don't see every day.
All right, I feel like I'm close.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, I said when I saw this, I just had the sudden urge to bury my face in it.
That is an 8 feet tall rose sculpture made into a vagina. It's something else.
It's supposed to be a vagina, correct?
Okay,
It's
so
not supposed to be something else than it just looks like this?
let's see. It's intrarosa. What is intrarosa?
I mean, because if it's not,
Vaginal inserts.
it is.
Okay.
There you go.
So
There we
yeah,
go.
that's
Dude.
definitely a pussy made out of flowers. Oh, look, they even have flowers as part of their branding.
Oh.
Look at that.
All right. All
Okay.
right. There we
Okay, they're vaginal inserts, but for what?
go. But what does it do once it's inserted? Does it, like, repel demons?
Oh, when sex is painful after menopause.
Oh. So it's like more cushion to stop the push.
They're like, you want to beat this flower pussy up?
Have
Does
some
it
nerf
actually
for
no
your-
longer... Does it biologically no longer want to be beat up? Well, it's got a product for you.
Yeah, it's vagina nerf.
If you think about it, we're all vaginal inserts. Kind of like the whole
It's been a minute.
kind of like the whole ravioli discussion.
Yeah.
What isn't?
Okay.
I mean, anything could be a vaginal insert if you put your mind to it.
Yeah, if you want it bad enough, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm no longer
said
screen
looking
sharing
at
it
the
with
mono on his wall.
YouTube, but I'm still looking at it because it's amazing. It is. And
you
that guy spent all day
Oh yeah.
lovingly crafting this big old fat pussy.
Are you
All
just
kidding
gonna
aside, it's
Photoshop
very
that onto
impressive.
a picture of Rouge the Bat now?
We were looking at Rouge the Bat prior.
When I was
checking a
searching
whole lot of
Rouge to
boxes.
figure out what her first appearance was, one of the search results that came up was from the Mario Wiki. And immediately, the Mario Wiki, the thing it starts with is this: Rouge the Bat is an 18-year-old anthropomorphic white bat. Gotta
So
make
it's
sure
cool.
you know she's 18.
And
It's
white.
legal. It's fine. Just checking all the right boxes for those fucking incels.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Well, I hope San Antonio's going well. I hope Disney's going well. I can't wait to hear what other fun stuff the fucking president of Epcot has to say on Mahoney's phone, or whoever the hell it was.
That's not true. That story's not true. I read that story
Really
like
want it
3
to be,
times.
though.
I read it back. I'm like, no. He's just talking shit about Disney Springs. He's implicating the president of Disney Springs in a Johnny Depp scandal.
What is Disney Springs? I'm not clear on what this is.
Disney Springs is like a outdoor shopping center, but it's Disney. So it's a lot of Disney shops. They got restaurants. They got House of Blues. They got the movie theater there. All kinds of shit.
Okay.
And
And
it's a lot of the stuff that you would get at the Disney park gift shop, so that having to buy a ticket, basically.
right,
Okay.
you know,
So it's just fancy area outside of Disney.
I mean, it's still
you're
on
not
Disney
actually-
property. You just don't need a park ticket.
Okay. So that's why Mahoney
Why
shit talking it because it's full of normies.
Yeah, he
Probably.
said people with Universal tickets can just show up. Universal people are a certain class. Renters.
Why the fuck is why is this Johnny Depp bullshit like on TV? It's so weird.
Well, because the
so
entire
strange.
world is a circus now, Lee.
How about this?
The whole world is a circus.
Put them both on the boat.
Yeah.
And
What
then
if the
just-
judge rules that they have to stay married, but put a tape line down the center of the room?
he sentences them both to a sitcom where they're married?
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
about to say, he sentences them to an 8-season reality show. Fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
I did.
Why isn't Mahoney at your house doing the show right now?
I mean, he's with his family. If I had the choice between staying at the Polynesian resort and my house, I mean, I'd go to the Polynesian too.
But he's still like, it's Tuesday night. He could just go to your house and do the show.
I mean, it's not like we're super close.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's like a
You and
45-minute
Mahoney? I
drive.
thought that you guys are pretty close.
And-
I mean, okay, right.
And he's probably fucking exhausted. We did one day with them, and it was enough to wreck us for the rest of the week. But see, the problem is we sat down. If you have one of those
gotta keep
week-long
moving.
Disney trips, you just got to keep moving. You can't stop
Yeah.
because then it hurts.
Yeah, I would never do a week. I don't think I could ever do like 2 park days in a row. It's just too much, man. It's too much. Fuck them kids. They'll be all right.
Yeah, we said the same
Too
thing
much.
because we had the option of getting 1 day, 2 day, or 4 day, and even in the 4 day, you had to finish within the week. And it's like, no fucking way are we going to Disney 4 days in a week.
Now,
Nah.
that's a hard pass on that, dog. Hard pass. No, thank you.
It was pretty cool though. We were glad to be back and hang out with the Mahoneys, and both of the kids are super fucking tall and lanky.
Super jealous.
Katie is just like 4 inches shorter than Mary currently.
Looking Donald Duck in his beady eyes.
That one picture, she looked like she could dunk on Donald Duck.
That's what I was saying. I'm like, did they put a dwarf in that Donald costume, or is Katie 9 feet tall?
I mean, they always do. They always find the shortest people to be the character. Specifically, like Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Daisy. But Goofy, you got to get a tall motherfucker.
Goofy, you got to get like a Chewbacca suit actor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just some freak. Put him in. No, I don't mean that.
Oh,
when you
speaking
saw
of
Chewbacca at Star Wars, was he ridiculously tall, or were you looking at him like that guy's too short?
no, he definitely pulled off Chewbacca.
Okay.
That would have really been a bummer.
Oh, just like a 5'8" Wookiee walking around. It's like, oh,
You're adorable.
Fucking Cousin Scratchy or whatever the fuck it was from Chewbacca's house.
Yeah.
We did the Monsters Inc. laugh floor, and I'm pretty sure I've told stories about that on the show before, but it's basically you're watching a Monsters Inc. comedy show, and it's interactive, and they pick on people in the audience, and Mahoney was the guy that got
nice
picked on
that
for
guy.
the entire show, and he got a little sticker, and Katie lost her shit. Because before we went in, she was like, oh man, we're going to get them to roast Dad and Nice. And they did.
Dad
It's
didn't
very
roast
cool
back.
technology how they do it.
I'm still like we were
my
talking
God.
about like how do they do it? Like I want to see how they work it.
It's very cool. It's very cool technology.
Mahoney would have
They
been
do
thrown
a-
out of the park if he got to roast back.
There's while you're waiting in the lobby for the Monsters Inc. thing, they've got TV screens that are asking you to send your best jokes to this text number, and then if your joke gets picked, it might be read during the show by Mike Wazowski's little nephew. Just imagine Mahoney sending memes to the Monsters Inc. laugh floor texting service.
Well, okay, we got this one here. This looks to be this is from the Suicide Squad movie, and he just has this a dog he's pointing at a dog. I don't get it.
Okay, speaking of dog, there's another one here. This guy's laying on the bathroom floor with a dog on his chest. What is happening?
It's the same dog from the earlier picture.
But this was not the Suicide Squad.
This is just a boy.
Show's
laying on
over,
what
folks.
used to be a bathroom floor.
Show's over, everybody. Good night.
I've been
Congratulations.
confused by memes.
You ruined the show for everybody. He's like, finally, my plan worked.
This is just a link to a TikTok.
Fucking monster doing TikTok dances.
We could.
Oh, fuck. Okay. All right. I got a lot of stuff here, man. Had
Ooh,
a big
story
weekend. Had a big weekend. Saturday was my birthday.
Happy belated birthday again.
fun.
Happy birthday.
I had some good foods. Saw some good stuff. Got some bomb-ass presents. It was great. Friday night, me and the lady went to see Bert Kreischer at the Ryman Auditorium. Great show.
Oh, Bart Chrysler?
Brent Chrysler. he was great. He did a bit about a fundraiser that has, if it doesn't end up on the next special, I will be devastated. It's so goddamn funny. It was one of the funniest bits I've ever seen. It was fantastic. And that was a pretty great end to an otherwise not so awesome day, because I had my follow-up appointment with the guy who's going to be doing my surgery to fix my P-tube.
No. We call him Dick Doc.
The Dick Doc, yes. I went to see the Dick Doc. This is the second Dick Doc. This is a 2 Dick Doc operation.
They're all Dick
So this
Doc.
is the second Dick Doc. They're all Dick Doc. So, first off, there was like, so when I made the appointment, it was like, hey, your appointment is at noon. It's like, great. Put it on my phone. It's like noon. And then as it gets closer, I start getting these text messages and emails and shit. They're like, hey, we're just calling to confirm your 1:30 appointment with the Dick Doc. And I'm like, okay, I guess it's 1:30 now. So I roll up at 1:30. And
Hey,
they're
it's
like,
noon.
hey, did
Why
you
are
get
you
your
late?
labs done? And they're like, no, I'm doing that now. Like, that's why I'm here. And she's like, oh, no, you got to do the fucking thing downstairs at noon. I said, well, then why did you tell me to come at 1:30? Okay.
Oh,
So I go
my
back down.
God.
They're able to get me into the lab. So, but like, it pushed everything back way longer than it had to be. We ended up being there until like damn near 5 o'clock. Ugh. And it would have been a lot quicker had we got there at noon, but they fucked me.
You ever sit around and look around a doctor's office and think, man, healthcare is really a sham?
Yeah, no shit.
Yep.
So I had to go in to do this. The whole reason I had the bag in for the past 6 weeks was to rest my urethra so I could do this fucking test, get this imaging done. This what ended up being like a magical X-ray of my pee hole. So first off, I just, there were going to be so many people seeing my dick that day. I'm like, all right, what can we do? What can we do to make it at least kind of presentable? Like something worth looking at, because I can tell just sitting in this chair, like it's inside of me.
Yeah.
It is completely gone in because it knows horrible things are happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so like by the time I could even like make my peace with, okay, what do we got to do? I'm like, oh fuck, I'll pull up my porn and get something. Nope, not happening. In comes homeboy, and he's all chatty. Way too chatty, given the relationship we're about to embark upon. Nice guy, but super fucking chatty. Then other guy comes in. This is a 2-man job now all of a sudden.
Well, I mean, just look what you're packing down there.
Well,
Wait,
one of
I
them
need
need to get a
to
fucking
go back for a sec. Why were you just be like, I need to look at some porn so I can show these dudes my dick?
Because you want something there, right? You don't want it to be just the saddest shit in the world, Kelly.
No, I think
Like,
they know what the deal is. They know like what
know.
you're coming into.
I'm aware. But
I
it's
think
like,
it would be weirder if they're like, why is this dude got a like half chub?
No, I just wanted a good hang. You know what I'm saying? Like just something worth looking at, like, for a second. Because I've had a lot of strangers looking at my gear the past few months, and it's never been good. You know what I'm saying?
Do you want them looking at it and like licking their chops?
No, I just want to be like, all right, okay, look at that. And you know what? Maybe a little chop licking wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
See,
I mean, that wouldn't be terrible.
I think you need to go the other direction and do something down there to make them chuckle. So when you drop it, they're like, oh!
Like a cigarette under my dick?
Yeah. What a wonderful gag. Or, you draw an eye on either side of your dick. So your dick looks like a nose. And then your balls
Or you're just like, hey, this grew in. Is this weird?
Yeah.
Temporary tattoos of Megazords.
There you go. Temporary tattoo that says Daddy's Girl above. So what we're doing here this day is you have a very, very thin tube, much thinner than I've been fucking with in recent weeks and months. And they're going to run this very thin tube up my peener, and then they're going to inject contrast dye into the tube, and then take an X-ray while the dye is in my peener to get like a map of my pee tube. That's the whole idea. And he's like, well, I'm going to try to get it all the way up into your bladder, make sure there's no strictures and this and that. I'm like, yeah, well, that's the reason I'm here, is there's definitely a stricture. So, like, I have concerns with the beginning of this operation right away. Like, this is going to be a problem. I was like, I'll be all right. And so they fucking cover my dick in iodine and lube and all this shit, and they start putting it up there, and sure as shit, he starts injecting the dye in there.
And that's when you get hard.
No, not even a little bit. No, definitely not. It was horrible. Because, as expected, he meets with resistance. Again, the reason that we're here in the whole fucking first place, there's going to be resistance. So it was like, oh man, I can't. It keeps coming out, so it's hitting the wall, right, and then pouring back out my dick. And so he's like, all right, I can just make an executive decision. There's only one thing to do. We gotta pinch this guy's dick shut with my hand, and the other hand is going to inject the solution through the tube.
Yes.
So I've got one dude working an X-ray camera, going, no, that's not right. That's not right. And another guy who has one hand wrapped around my dick, squeezing it shut with one hand, and the other hand operating a syringe, trying to shoot dye up my pee hole.
Oh, fuck yes.
It's fucking awful. And then as like, so they're all done. And then homeboy spots my hat. I'm wearing my Two Bears hat. And he's like, oh shit, are you going to see Bert Kreischer tonight? And I'm like, yeah, but don't want to talk about it. We just had a whole thing going on here, buddy. I'm not looking to make a friend.
Oh my god, what if he was also going and you were sitting like 3 seats away from each other?
Oh, it was really something.
Was Nicole in the room for all this?
No, because it's an X-ray room. This is a radiation
okay.
room. It's
Yeah,
like
that's
they
true.
Put you outside or whatever. Oh, but before all that happened, when we're up, we're see the nurse lady. We get into the doc's office right before they tell us that we fucked up and got to go downstairs to do the X-ray, or whatever. She's like, oh yeah, so we'll go down. We'll take care of that. They'll send the results right up, and then we'll get you back up, and we'll see about getting that tube out. And I'm like, what? Me and Nicole kind of lock eyes. Like, this bitch just say she's gonna take the tube out? That's happening? And she's like, what? And I go, no one said we're taking the tube out today. That's fucking great. And she's like, oh. Well, let's just see what happens. And I'm like, I think this bitch is lying about getting this tube taken out. And Nicole's like, maybe it'll be okay. Come back up, wait for fucking forever. The tube did not come out. Because, as evidenced by the fucking Three Stooges pee hole show downstairs, we still got a significant blockage, so that's not happening. But we meet with the dick doc. He tells me all this shit, whatever. We make plans. They're gonna call me with a surgery date, but this tube's been in for about 6 weeks, so we gotta switch out the tube. And now, I tried for a little while to figure out how to make this next part funny, and I don't think it's possible. What followed? Oh boy. So he leaves, in comes in the same bitch that lied to me about getting my tube taken out. And she's like, all right, we're going to switch this thing out. And so lay down, drop my fucking drawers, and she cuts one of the ends off, and so it starts deflating the saline balloon inside. Because it's the balloon that keeps it inside of me and inside my bladder. It's like an inflated saline balloon.
Okay, I didn't realize you had a balloon in you.
Yeah, so the tube has a balloon at the end. So they put the tube inside, inflate it, that's what keeps it in. So she cuts the thing, that saline drains out, and then she pulls the tube out, and it feels like my spirit is attached to it.
Oh.
And she ripped that fucker out, too. And I just, like, thank God I was wearing a mask, because God only knows what my fucking face looked like. But, like, my whole body starts shaking, I got fucking fists going. And then she shoves a new one in there and has to and I'm like, how the hell is it gonna go in there? Like there's not like a guiding chute. She's like, oh no, it just goes right in the same hole. And yeah, you know what? It does, but you gotta wiggle around to find it first. And it was a singular experience. Like there's you can't even compare it to anything. Like it's unlike anything else. And yeah, it hurt. But it wasn't like an awful pain. It was more just, it felt so unnatural and bizarre that my brain couldn't even process what was happening to it. It's like, this is not a thing that we've ever felt before. And as she's fucking rooting around in there, pumping it up like a fucking old school Reebok, trying to get the balloon blown up, I'd start going, ah! And Nicole just trying not to have her fucking fingers broken and clenching down on this hand. And making it all that much worse is the entire time she's going through this fucking nonsense, she's calling me all kinds of crazy pet names.
Oh no.
Like including, I shit you not, Sweet Pea. This woman, between the time I first saw her to the time we were done, must have called me Sweet Pea 37 times. She called me at once. And you can call me a lot of things. I'm no visible Sweet Pea. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? It was lots of Huns and sweetheart, and then the Sweet Peas. And at some point, Nicole looks at me and she's like, "Is this bitch seriously gonna keep going with this Sweet Pea?" I'm like, "Apparently, that's what we're doing today." And
you got a Sweet Pea, man.
Yeah.
She's fucking, puncturing my crotch like a fucking Capri Sun pouch. And she's like, "You're doing great. You're doing great, sweet pea." And I'm like, "Fucking get this over with. Quit talking to me."
What if her calling you sweet pea she knew was going to bother you and it would help distract from her poking around on there?
It was extremely distracting.
That might be part of the strategy.
Like, hold on
I
just a
don't know.
second, my N-word. Let me poke this around a little bit.
I would have pissed myself if I could have physically. Like, if she had done that. That would have been great. But she wraps up, and then she's like, "Okay." Yeah, and I'm like, "Hey, can I, I got a bandage over here?" She's like, "Oh, I don't have to bandage it every day." I go, "Well, it's bleeding. So I would like to put a bandage on there and not fuck up my pants." And like, by this point, Nicole and I got a pretty good system going on. We got the gauze strips, we got like the Tegaderm pouches, patches, all this shit, whatever. Tape. I'd kind of tape it up to my hip because we got the hole in the middle where the tube comes out, and then I kind of pull it over a little bit and kind of tape it up high, that way it can come over the top of my pants, right? And kind of dangle down into the sack or whatever. So she gives me this. So she fucking just like tapes a wad of gauze to the thing. Very not a good presentation. Not after a fucking old pros like me and the lady have been at it, right? And then she's like, "Do you want me to tape the hose up?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like, I mean, you saw me walk in here. Like, you know what it looked like when I walked in. What the fuck are we talking about here? And she puts this thing, it's like a plastic gimmick with a sticky back.
Just chewed a
And
bunch
you
of
can
gum and
clip-
shoved it in there.
Well, no, you put this plastic thing on there. Then you like can clip the end of the tube into it, like so it doesn't move, whatever. Which I guess is okay. But she puts it like in the center of my thigh, and I'm like, again, you saw what it looked like. What am I supposed to do with this? Like, how am I supposed to put my pants back on with this fucking thing in the middle of my leg?
Oh, sweet pea, just
And I'm
walk out
so
there without
annoyed.
any pants on.
Oh.
It's okay.
I'm so fucking annoyed. And Nicole's like now I've gone like I have like the trauma sweats, and I'm also getting visibly annoyed. And Nicole's like, "Oh, I got to get this woman out of here before he says something truly heinous." So she's hurrying this lady out of here now, and she closed the door, and we kind of lock eyes, and I'm like, "Yeah, that was the right call." That was the right thing to do, because this lady was about to have a real rough fucking Friday night.
As you're
I had,
telling
like,
this
beautiful
wonderful
bullshit you
story
did.
of body horror, I'm just thinking about the poor suckers who clicked on this link to listen to us talk about AEW.
We'll get into it, but this is the price you pay.
Oh, made me choke.
And the results were just a huge step backward as far as like pain and discomfort. Like, man.
So, like,
I
why
kinda-
was it? What was the justification for switching out the tubes? Is it like sanitary shit?
Well,
or just
yeah, you're supposed to
'cause?
change them every 6 to 8 weeks. Like, it's
Oh,
something that you
I
do,
see. Okay.
because it's a regular thing. Which, like, some people have these like for life,
Yeah.
right? It's a lifetime thing, and like you're expected to at some point do this shit at home.
Yeah.
And it boggles my fucking mind how a person could like do this to themselves. Like, I mean, maybe I don't know, man, because it was again just on a completely different level as far as just physical trauma. It was unfucking believable. I can't imagine doing this shit to myself or, having my poor wife try to do it. It's just crazy town.
All right, Nicole, yank the sack out of me.
Oh, it's fucking wild, y'all. And then they call me Monday because they're like, "Yeah, the scheduling lady's already gone. She'll call you Monday with a date." I'm like, "All right, cool. Let's get this fucker done and over with." And she calls me yesterday, and she's like, "Our first availability is June 13th." And I said, "Well, that's entirely too long from now. That's like, that's as long from now as it is from the beginning of this. That's twice as long with this fuckery. That's not gonna work out." She's like, "Guys, that's the schedule." And I said, "Well, please don't. I don't want to do that for that long." Which says nothing of the fact that my fucking health insurance, is going to reset or whatever, and it's going to cost thousands upon thousands of dollars instead of being, free now. And she's like, it is what it is. I'm like, fuck. Okay. Which, Let me tell you, the morale in the Rodriguez house was a little low last night. I was trying to figure out how to fucking come to grips with doing this shit for another 2.5 months. Because once the operation's done, they put a dick tube, like a real like dick catheter up in there for 3 goddamn weeks after that. And he's like, and then we cap the one in your belly. We leave that one in there in case of an emergency. And so then you'd have to like, drain from the dick tube into a bag. And I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna be like, why? Like, that sounds horrible. I'm used to the belly one. Can we cap the dick one and continue to use the belly one? Because like I'm kind of used to that. And I'd rather have, the 6-8 inches hanging out of me that I had before than, fucking 6 feet of tubing attached to my penis. That sounds horrible. Like, I don't want to do that. Like if they're both going to be in there, I'd rather use the one that I've been using because I kind of got to hang on it, But, I digress. We got to wait for this shit to work out to get there. And then this fucking angel, calls me this morning, today. And she says, we have cancellations. Can you come in tomorrow? And I literally said, hell yes, I will make that work. Thank you. You are a fucking goddess. I'll see you in the morning.
I'm coming and I'm bringing my dick with me.
I'm coming. I'm bringing the sack. You drill this motherfucker out. Let's see what happens. So then I had to scramble to find out what to do with my thug-ass kids tomorrow because I'm having fucking reconstructive dick surgery tomorrow. Very exciting stuff.
Put them on a plane to Disney World. The Mahoneys will pick them up.
Yep.
Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fucking great. So they're gonna cut into my taint and fix my tubes. It's gonna be awesome. Can't wait.
I'm gonna start telling people you're getting taint reduction surgery.
I'm gonna tell them you get your tubes tied.
And then they're like, "What is taint reduction surgery?" It's like, "Oh, he wants it so his butthole is right next to his balls."
So he has to lift his balls to shit.
Yep.
Yeah. Tug on my nuts to drop a deuce. And so, along with a backslide on pain and discomfort because of this fucking nonsense, like one of the worst things about when it first went in was an inability to shit properly. Like it just the body rejects all the fucking nonsense. Like it I don't know. It just made it difficult. I had to shit for like 4 days the first time it happened. It was awful. So I had the bright idea to bring in some outside help and see if I can move this fucking process along. And so,
do not try this at home.
Yeah.
No, don't do this. This is a real bad idea.
I really why didn't you consult with Mr. Poopy Tummy himself? Like, you've got 2 Poopy Tummy boys you could talk to. You got that's double Jasons.
Oh no, I had both my wife and my daughter watch this go down, and they said this is a horrible idea. And I'm like, it'll be fine. Let's see what happens.
And Nicole, I know you're not listening, but why didn't you talk to Nice?
Slap it out. Well, you still haven't told people what you did.
Right. These guys know because I had to tell them at the time. But what happened was a couple weeks ago, my lady bought this this like bag of Hot Ones branded like chicken balls, chicken type things, and they came with a pouch of the classic hot, one of their like middle sauces, and a pack of the new Last Dab, which is the Last Dab Apollo sauce, made with the Apollo pepper, which I think they pulled directly from Satan's nutsack. I think that's where it grows natively. And I'd already eaten the first 2, and I had this Last Dab bag, some chicken left. Like, so I'm gonna fucking toss some of these chicken balls in some Last Dab and fucking go chemical war, and I'm gonna make some shit happen.
You
and my wife
threw grenades into your stomach.
Yep.
I basically threw grenades into my stomach, and they're like, I fry them up, I toss them in the sauce, and I pull the lid off, and just as the vapor hits my face, like my eye starts watering a little bit.
and you're like, this is a good idea.
Yeah, I'm like, this is gonna be it. I sit down, and my daughter looks at me and goes, I hope you shart your pants.
Yeah, and
like,
she's completely fair.
Deserve whatever happens to you for doing this. And My wife says, yeah, you do deserve whatever happens to you for this. And managed to get 4 of them down, which is a very big deal because it's pretty rough. And Zoe bitched out. I'm like, I'll give you $40 to eat one. And she's like, no. And I'm like, you are a fucking coward. And she's like, you're crying. And I'm crying because I got feelings. It's something else.
You got feelings, it's hot, and you can't shit.
Yeah. I'm not crying because of the chicken. You fucking coward. Eat the chicken. She didn't eat the chicken.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have either.
No, it's pretty. I mean, it's not as bad as some of the other dumb shit I've done. Like, it's not as bad as like that one chip challenge thing. That was a fucking disaster. But not all science is successful. So what I wound up with that night and into the next day was a horrid mix of diarrhea and constipation. Like, have you ever had diarrhea but been unable to shit? It's a real special situation.
Yeah, it sucks.
It's like, oh, I have what is clearly an emergency happening, but nothing's gonna happen. It was just like a fucking war among my insides, and both sides were committing atrocities against the other one. Like, it was all bad. It was not great.
Lee,
But,
Lee, you're currently on the line with someone that has Brock Lesnar's disease.
That's true. That's true.
you gotta stop harming yourself with the food. And I'm not talking
former Popcast host Kerouac is a professional shitter. Like, that's his job. That's what he does.
It's it's not the last dab wings, it's the potatoes.
Yeah,
take better care of yourself. You're getting old, man.
Oh, just wait until this fucking tube comes out. We're gonna do some wild shit to get back on there. So it's gonna be real fun. Nicole's thrilled. Wait till I can actually move again, y'all. It's gonna be nuts. So, suffice to say, it's been an interesting few days, and gonna get more interesting come tomorrow. So, fucking send me good vibes. Everybody out there listening, think good thoughts about my dick.
What's up? What's the
poor taint?
What's the Michael Jackson milk situation going on?
Oh, we're getting on Michael Jackson milk.
Nice.
They called me in today and they're like, "Do you have any problems with anesthesia?" I said, "Only that I'm not on it right now."
You should do the thing like our dog does, where she pretends that she hasn't been fed breakfast already, and be like, "Get your first dose of propofol or Michael Jackson milk, whatever it's called," and then as the next person comes by, be like, "Hey, I'm supposed to be getting some Michael Jackson milk over here. Can you hook a brother up?"
No, that's how you actually get Michael Jackson.
Yeah, that's true. That's a bad idea.
See, this is why we run ideas past each other.
We got to talk it out.
Yeah.
Just enjoy your Michael Jackson milk and be happy.
Yeah, just the one serving.
Yeah, one recommended 8-ounce serving, probably not 8 ounces.
Don't biggie size it.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit's wild. And so Nicole's gonna take me up there, drive me home, and probably come straight home. Unlike the time I got anesthesia and I woke up outside a nail place. Which she said I consented to. I'm not sure I did. I got my wisdom teeth pulled a few years ago, and they put you under for that, whatever. And I remember waking up in the office for a second, then I remember waking up in the wheelchair to get in the car, and then the next time I woke up, I was outside a nail salon. And I'm like, huh? The fucking sunroof was open and the doors run like I'm a puppy outside of Walmart.
She cracked the window.
The windows are open and he's listening to his favorite music.
And I woke up at the house later and I'm like, "Did you leave me outside the nail place?" And she said, "Yeah, but you said it was cool." I go, "Yeah, but you can't trust me with
that situation."
Like, you were fine. I go, "Yeah, I was, and it's gonna be a fun story forever." Fucking wild.
Well, good luck tomorrow, Lee.
Yeah, you're gonna do it, and you're gonna end up with a beautiful small taint.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be good. One thing I've always said about myself, it's like, Lee, you got too much taint. So we're gonna fix it. It's gonna be all right.
Got to bring it back. Tuck it in.
You don't realize how much taint you got. until you really start thinking about it. You're like, it's just too much.
Yeah.
Too much taint.
Especially when it starts to itch and you got to like get up under it.
Yeah.
You're like jamming your fingers back there and you're like, where does this end?
It would be. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you just get it reduced, not a problem anymore.
Yeah, if you had like 30% less taint, that scratch would be a lot easier.
But what if you get phantom limb for your taint? You can just feel it even though it's not there.
It'd be like sitting would be difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think this taint reduction surgery might be a bad idea too.
See, this is why we run these ideas across the...
It's been wild, y'all. Fucking real life. Real life is something else. Just something else.
It'll be over before you know
How's
it.
your taint and balls?
My taint and balls
I'm
are
shit glad it's gonna be 3 weeks, more than 9. So
yeah,
it's great
for real.
Yeah.
You know, you just kind of got to write off this year as far as dicks go.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Really, I mean,
Fucking telling you.
I haven't been doing much except for one day at Disney was enough, you know? You know, because back in the day when we had our annual passes, you know, we'd go for a few hours and then get the fuck out of there. But since we bought a one-day ticket, it's like we need to get our money's worth out of this. But oh boy, it's a lot. It was hot. It's a lot of people. We did at one point, you know, the kids were dropping like flies one by one. The grandparents took the kids back to the hotel. At one point, we all took the monorail back to their hotel to drop Katie off because she was done. And then we hung out at the Polynesian, and they have Dole Whips there. We just found a little table, and it was in the shade, and there was breeze. And I was like, this is nice. Let's not go back ever again. We did, though. It was nice. But, man, we did a whole lot. It was awesome. Drank so many goddamn blue Powerades. You gotta stay hydrated.
I fucking bet. Yeah, hell yes.
Got to. We were talking about freaks earlier, and man, since COVID, the freaks have really come out at Disney. Some real weirdos. Like, there was a point when we were inside the gift shop by Dumbo's Circus where I thought there was a homeless man wandering around. But I'm like, that's impossible. That couldn't be a homeless man.
But instead, it's somebody who paid $200 to look like a homeless man at Disney.
Right.
That's a real interesting move.
Speaking of interesting moves, the kids these days, not huge fans of bras.
Oh.
All right.
Generation Z at Disney World doesn't give a fuck about no bra.
All right.
Hey, more power to you.
Yeah. Seems like, you want that support. Just saying, they might regret that in a couple of years. But, let them fly now. What do I know?
Yeah, I mean, it's hot at Disney. Whatever. Who cares?
Yeah.
As long as you, like
ride.
Rouge the Bat, are 18 years old, let them fly, I guess.
Rouge the Bat
As
is
we all know.
She is perpetually just turned 18. Yeah, my 18th birthday was yesterday.
There's Illegal 19, starring Rouge the Bat. Also, Barely Legal 41, starring Rouge the Bat again somehow.
Wait a minute.
Cue the
Rouge
steel
the
drum
Bat's in all
music,
these.
Kelly. All right, was that Under the Sea?
Maybe. It might have been.
Fuck yeah.
They might all be under all. That's all that steel drum music is. Every single one. They're all
Feeling
the
hot,
same.
hot, hot.
Yeah. It's hot, hot, hot under the sea.
Yeah.
Duh. Everyone knows that. That's just
Yeah.
science. Oh, shit. What you got going on, Kelly?
I
Besides
saw the
being
Northman.
hot, hot, hot under the sea.
Yeah.
How How is the Northman?
It fucking rocks.
Yeah, I want to see that.
It's really cool. Just awesome movie visually. Story's really interesting. I like that it's I was listening to an interview with the director this morning, and he was talking about how he wanted to show like Viking culture with no judgment. So you get all the awful shit. Like everything every terrible thing you hear about Vikings is there.
The rapey stuff, you mean?
Yeah. They don't shy away from it, but you also get to see like the good side of it too. So it's just like, here it is, just look at it, draw your own conclusions. We're not going to tell you what to think.
Yeah, it's like, hey, guess what? 1,000 years ago, shit was terrible.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like it was horrible just to be alive. So you had to do horrible shit to stay alive.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a really good movie. Just visually beautiful. It's a little over 2 hours. It flew by for me. I didn't even realize it. Just really cool. Definitely worth seeing in the theaters. Like all the action scenes are awesome. Music's really good. Might be trying to remember what's all come out this year. Might be my favorite movie of the year so far. Batman.
All right.
Oh, fuck yeah, Batman.
Okay, number 2. I think I like Batman a little bit more. But yeah, it's
Batman
really
2,
good.
confirmed. Yay.
Yep. So yeah, definitely check out the Northman if you're into violent Viking shit. And then other than that, I haven't really done anything.
You know what? That's okay.
Yeah.
You've had enough excitement for all of us,
like me.
Lee.
Yeah, exactly.
Whew.
Now, you guys want to talk about wrestling? We got a classic. We going into it?
No. Since we were gonna try and keep it tight, you know.
Pop topic.
All right. So for this week's pop topic, I decided to introduce the subject of we discussed the state of AEW because this was the
stealing
time.
my gimmick over here. Look
I
at
know.
him.
Well, I figured it was my I presented the idea, so I should.
Hey,
I should
I'm
take
allowed.
over.
Go for it. I'll allow it.
Because I figured this would be a good week to do it because it's the three of us. We keep up on with the show.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Mahoney doesn't.
Mahoney
Jose-
absolutely hates it.
Yeah, and Jose wants to know who's champs.
Yeah. Earlier I said Mahoney hates it and Jose is clueless. And then Jose busts out, what did he say? Oh my God.
He asked something about the Blackpool Combat Club. But he made it so that the
Black
acronym
Bolt
is
Barber
BBC.
Club.
Yeah, Black Bolt Barber Club.
Yeah.
He said, saw Steven
that was
Regal's
it,
Black Bolt Barber Club 3-man tag team match where they did the 3-man beatdown at the same time. Cool shit. So that was probably on at the restaurant he was at. Black Bolt Barber Club tickles me. What tickles me even more is Jose knows him as Steven Regal, which was strictly his WCW name, right?
Yes. Yeah, he was as soon as he left, he's been William Regal ever since.
Yeah, he's been William Regal since the Attitude Era.
Yeah, for 20 plus years at this point.
Who's champs?
Love his beautiful mind.
He does. He certainly does. I know with Jose, I don't have to keep, who's champs and all that. I don't have to keep him up to date, but like when we went to Rampage and Revolution, I know he's going to have a good time.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
The hardest part,
of course,
about like going with Jose and Mary, who knows more than Jose does, watches it more, she's at least in the room, is answering their questions and not wanting to be wrong and have some mark be like, excuse me.
Well, actually.
That's when you go, mind your fucking business.
I'm trying to talk to my wife.
Go, sorry, sir.
But yeah, so to figure we'll just talk about what our current thoughts of the product is. So like overall, I think AEW is by far the best television wrestling right now. Easy. Like, it's not really a competition.
Yeah.
But you can't really say that it's a perfect show. Like, they
No.
do have problems.
Sure, of course, but
you're
doesn't?
just going to. Exactly. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
Like, none of the problems currently are super detrimental, I think, to the product.
They can all be improved upon.
Yes, exactly. It's things you can fix. And like the Sammy Guevara thing, they're fixing it. People turned on him. Okay, make him heel.
Yeah, I think
'Cause-
if Scorpio Sky comes out of this the champion again and a face, I think people will take back their complaints about it.
At that point, I would see the program as a success.
Yeah. Yeah, we talked about this privately, but the whole Sammy Ty Conti thing, it was only a matter of time before people started to turn on them because they were just very happy on social media to be in love.
Yeah.
And they're
You know
very
what?
attractive
Fuck
and
these guys.
like
Fuck these pretty happy people.
dudes had latched onto Ty Conti well before Sammy Guevara, so there was some in their mind ownership there. So of course they were gonna turn heel at some point. And also, Sammy Guevara, in my opinion, Sammy has never turned face.
No, he's not a good face. Like, he just shouldn't do it. Because it does not work.
I think it was it by default? Okay, so I wasn't watching when it was Inner Circle versus Pinnacle, but that's kind of where Inner Circle turned face, I guess.
Yeah.
And it just never rang true. Just the whole group. And then Sammy broke off, and
Which is probably why and they very soon after that dissolved the group.
And he was getting cheers, but just because he's good. He's good at what he does. He does
cool
crazy shit. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like he shouldn't have been face. Like, it doesn't work. He's too good at being hateable.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't translate to him being likable. You know, it's like he's
Blows
too
my
cocky.
Fucking mind, though. He comes out and then he's in this program with Scorpio Sky, who's great. Scorpio Sky is insanely talented. He's very, very good. But they fucking bogged Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page down with goddamn Make-A-Wish kid Dan Lambert. And the people turned on Sammy so hard they started cheering Dan Lambert, and that broke my brain.
Yeah.
It befuddled me as I was watching it happen. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense.
Well, there's a precedent too, because they were cheering Lambert over Brandy Rhodes.
Yeah.
I was not a Brandy fan. I watched Brandy 10 times in a row before I watched Dan Lambert once. That guy fucking sucks. Like, he's the worst.
I don't know. He's kind of grown on me.
Put him on television.
It is what it is. It is what it is. He's good at being a shitbag heel.
I think he's good when he doesn't lean into like these damn millennials.
The Jim Cornette shit.
Yes, when he doesn't lean into that, I like him a lot. But when he starts going on about woke culture and shit like that, it's like, no, now you're just being obnoxious at this point.
Yeah, I think ideally,
I hate everything about what he's doing.
Men of the Year break off from Lambert, and then Lambert is just the mouthpiece for Paige Van Zandt because she needs some help.
Yeah. Because Men of the Year don't need a mouthpiece.
No,
like Scorpio
That's
Sky
made it so
can
weird in
cut
the
a
first place.
promo on his own, and Ethan Page is great on the mic. You don't need have Ethan Page be the mouthpiece for the team. Like, I don't get it.
And also, it doesn't make. I mean, I feel like Lambert has definitely done a lot for Men of the Year, but the pairing doesn't make sense because he's such a fucking slob.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. They come out looking like $1 million, and he's like, my fucking grandpa's sweatshirt over here. Like,
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like the Bill Belichick thing, almost. I could see.
Oh yeah.
Just wearing the same
it's like-
hoodie for decade.
It's like, as MMA guys have better shit to do, and instead of just taking him off television like they should have, they're like, I want to hang out with Scorpio Sky. It's like, fucking no. I don't
Yeah.
like He drives me nuts. I don't fucking like it.
Yeah, no, if he would just go away, I'd be fine with it. If they just stick him with Paige Van Zandt, that's fine.
Yep, fine with that too. Whatever.
Yeah.
Have Paige and Ty fight at some point. Great.
Yeah.
Super duper.
Speaking of, and this is kind of in the news today, Becky Lynch was asked about the AEW women's division, and I would say, without a doubt, it is one of their weakest aspects.
Yes.
Is
the AEW women's division is an obligation. They have it because they have to. You can't have a national wrestling promotion in this day and age without a women's division. The bad part of that is the American women's wrestling community is not great. And you can't support two major companies' women's divisions at the same time. I mean, you could. Here's what AEW could. But they make the weirdest booking decisions with who gets pushed and who gets used in the women's division.
I just feel
every time they put Red Velvet on my TV, I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Exactly what I was thinking. Like every time it's stir it up, throw 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 it up.
Well, she's a baddie now.
Yeah. But every time she gets they just keep pushing her and she's, I don't know, fine. She's fine to bad. That's what I would say. She's fine to bad as a wrestler, and it's like, I don't know. At some point, cut bait and just get more talented people, because there are people out there. But
I think they've got some really good talent, but
they do
probably.
But
not,
who they choose to use is weird, and how they book the division is weird too. Like, remember when there was I couldn't tell you how long the feud actually was. It felt like it was 5 years of the 4 blonde women wrestle in different combinations every week, when the Anna Jay and Ty Conti versus Bunny and Penelope Ford feud.
Bunny and Penelope, yeah.
I mean, it ended with a pretty rad street fight, but everything leading up to that sucked.
If you look back, some of the best women's matches in AEW are also the ones where they're all bleeding.
Yeah.
So I think they need to get to a point where they have a great women's match that isn't just great because they both juiced.
Yeah.
And not to say that...
Well, they also tend to put, the best talent in those matches, too, which helps.
Mm-hmm.
You got, Wednesday, you've got Serena Deeb and Hikaru Shida coming out, and that's going to be great. That's going to be very good.
I don't know.
They have good matches.
Feel like I've seen that match 19 times.
Yeah, and let me tell you something.
But it's always good. It's a good match, though.
I'm the low man on Serena Deeb.
Really?
Today in the Voices of Wrestling Slack, I called her the Name a Woman the Wrestler. Because she just feels like whenever name a women's wrestler, people are like, oh, Serena Deeb, she's really good. And I'm like, hey, she's fine. She's absolutely fine. I don't know. She's the most... I would argue she is the single most overrated wrestler in the entire world right now.
God damn, son.
She's perfectly fine. She is good in a veteran hand role. I don't want to hear about her being one of the best women's wrestlers in the world. It is simply not true.
Mm-hmm.
I think when she was doing the teacher thing where she'd the 5-minute challenge,
the professor,
the professor, every single one of those sucked. Every single one.
Well, yeah, because they put in there with just jobbers and just
but if you're doing this, you should, and you are the professor, you should be able to elevate them to a decent match.
Yes, I agree.
I
think
also
Jade's getting better. I don't.
Yeah,
Jade's.
Jade still has 30 matches under her belt. That's it. So it's she's gonna keep getting better. It's gonna come with time.
She might be getting better, but that doesn't mean that the matches are getting better, because that Rampage main event was real weird choice.
Somehow still better than I thought it would be.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
I was ready for it to be a complete disaster. Because that match Shafir had on Dynamite, or whenever that was,
Yes.
was just horrible.
The warm-up match against the Nobody, it was
Yes.
terrible.
Just awful.
I think the disparity wouldn't be as wide if it weren't for the fact that it seems like for the past 3 months now, every show is a banger card with match of the year candidates, but you just can't get that women's division to live up to that. Every now and again.
And I think it just comes down to who they book and who they choose to use, because there's a lot of times where it's just like, okay, this is half of a good match. I've talked about Taylor and I have talked about this before. I don't know if we've ever actually talked about it on our show Jumping Bomb Audio over in the Voices of Wrestling podcast network.
Subscribe.
Cheap pop.
Exactly. But I know we both feel that Sheeta has regressed very much in her time in America. And I think a lot of that comes down to the quality of talent she's against.
Well, you have to assume COVID did something to it as well, because not only was the talent limited, but super limited during COVID. You had literally like 3 or 4 women touring at that point.
Yeah, and like Riho just fucked off to go do fucking whatever. Like I really think Riho's like, man, America sucks. I'm not going there right now.
Probably a good call, you know.
But you could also say, like, I figured she'd wrestle in Japan. She barely worked at all over COVID, so I don't know what was going on. But like, she was the best person in the division for a long time, and so having her not around hurts a lot. Same with losing like Yuka Sakazaki.
Yeah, she was so fucking fun. Always so fun.
I think she hopefully will be coming over soon. There's going to be a bunch of the girls from Tokyo Joshi coming over to do a show in, I believe, like the Pacific Northwest. So I'm hoping a bunch of them end up doing stuff with AEW too. Because like having Maki Ito back would be great.
Hell yeah.
Because she really goes to show how over that division could be. Because all of a sudden, everyone was talking about her.
Oh yeah.
Like just out of nowhere. Like I had people at work were just coming up to me and like, oh, who's this? Who's this Maki Ito person? I'm like, well, you know, she's from Tokyo Joshi. She's great. But it's just like how quickly she made an impact with really how little she actually did.
Yeah. Yeah, but she's fun. She does interesting stuff. She's got she has a real character, you know,
Yes.
which I think helps a lot. You know, she's got a very specific lane. And the matches are good too. And
Yeah. She's really put it together over the past like year and a half or so of like, because before it was she's just really good at character work, can have good matches every now and then. Now she can do pretty consistent great matches. So she's like would definitely be a huge help to the roster. But I'm really hoping they are able to beef up the roster from the Tokyo Joshi people coming in every now and then.
The Owen Hart tournament on the women's side should be a good way for them to set up multiple stories, have great wrestling, women's wrestling every week until that tournament's done, and then make a couple stars. You know, they're already pushing Toni Storm and Jamie Hayter, and Britt's throwing her hat in there.
Toni Storm was a fantastic pickup for them because she is already one of the top people in the division easily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and maybe like 1 or 2 more of those, and we're fucking cooking with gas.
Yeah,
you have to expect the next time Charlotte's contract comes up, she's gonna get some fucking money thrown at her. Oh
yeah,
Speaking of the Owen Hart tournament, Kelly, I'm sure you heard about this, but Lee, did you hear that WWE signed Brett to a Legends deal just so AEW couldn't use him for any of this?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That sounds about right.
Well, because they were also building up FTR and Punk were fighting over who was the biggest Brett fan, and they were also saying Brett was going to manage FTR. And WWE is like, no, how about this? $6 million, you stay at home. Brett's like, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah.
I wonder how much the relationship with Martha Hart helped that decision.
Yeah, I don't know, because I guess she and Brett still aren't on speaking terms.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that could be something where he's like, why not? If I'm not going to get invited to this Owen Hart thing, I might as well just sign.
I find myself a lot of times thinking 10, 15, 20 years in the future of AEW, which is hilarious because who knows if there's 20 years in the future of fucking anything at this point.
For any of us, right? Yeah.
But like, with
I would also like you to remember this year is Impact's 20th anniversary.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
But yeah, I look at shit like Cody leaving to go to WWE, and I'm just kind of like, we're in year 3 now of AEW. Cody leaves now. And he's got the rest of his career. He'll jump 3 or 4 times before he's done,
Yeah,
yeah.
My guess is that he'll do his time in WWE, come back, probably do a heel run in AEW, and then maybe call it quits.
You got to come back as the WWE guy to AEW.
Yep. And when it was announced he was leaving and stuff, it felt like a huge deal.
Yes.
Like, it was like, oh shit. And now that we're here, it doesn't really seem like that big of a deal anymore.
Because
the show has gotten better.
Yeah, they've signed so many people, and the show has been a banger for, like, you go back to the winning streak during the Attitude Era. We need a winning streak of how many banger shows AEW's putting on in a row.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of really good ones. And I was thinking the other day about, all the new signings or whatever, and kind of thinking there's a lot of, ex-NXT and WWE guys there now, and how that obviously wasn't the case at the beginning, and kind of how I was, from one part I'm like, that kind of sucks for, your Kip Sabians and shit like that who were there at the beginning. But then I'm like, but if I'm Tony Khan and I'm Kenny and the Young Bucks, like, I want the best wrestlers I can get
For sure.
on my fucking show, that have the name recognition. Like, I totally understand the move. But that also means that because of that kind of, you get fucking Keith Lee getting to do Keith Lee shit finally.
Exactly.
And
like the current wrestling
Shane Strickland out there
landscape
kicking ass. Like,
we're in, like the current wrestling landscape we're in, 95% of the big names you're going to try and pick up are going to be formerly WWE or NXT people, just because they signed so goddamn many people.
Yeah, they cleared out the indies. So AEW, essentially, with all these NXT people coming in, it's like the indies from 2018 again.
Yeah.
Because they signed everybody pretty much so they couldn't go to AEW. It seems like more than anything else, they just scooped up all the talent so they couldn't do this thing. And now that they're free, they're like, and as soon as possible, they're going to do this thing that they didn't want them to do.
And in some instances, did their best to devalue their brands.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were just stuck in Triple H's Human Zoo for a long time, and then they went up to the main roster and had a real bad time.
Okay, speaking of Triple H's Human Zoo, the Nightmare Factory was kind of AEW's version of that early on.
Yeah.
Does that change because Cody's not there, or do like the people Cody dubbed as the chosen one, do they get de-pushed now?
I'm not sure, because I would assume their Nightmare Factory is still working with AEW purely because QT Marshall's still around. And
right.
I think he does most, if not all, of the training. So, like, I would assume not much will change in that kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
But I also feel like we haven't really had anyone come up from there in a while that was worth a damn. So,
I mean, does Jade count?
I guess. Yeah, that's true.
Who?
Jade.
Oh, yeah. Jade.
Yeah, so I guess she did come out of there, didn't she? So, yeah.
And what fucking your boy Hook?
That's true.
scene between Hook and Danhausen had so much sexual tension. And you can't make me believe they didn't realize that. Because Danhausen is a gay man, correct?
I think he's got a wife.
Man wife, I think.
No, I think it's a wife.
I don't know.
Like, don't ruin this for me.
I thought Danhausen was a gay man.
I think you're thinking of Effie.
Oh no,
Yeah, you might be.
Effie is definitely gay. Let's see. I don't know, man. Who
I've
cares?
seen some people talking shit on Hook. I'm not here for that. I think Hook's excellent.
He's
I'm
great.
way
Hook's
into all
great.
that bullshit.
And
He's so good.
I am interested to see what they do with him and Danhausen because it could be great for both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they couldn't be more opposite, and I'm kind of into that.
I saw
it
someone
could be a lot of fun.
suggest it might be like Pac versus Orange Cassidy. But like,
Yeah, that was fun. That was
Is
great match.
Danhausen gonna bust out a 5-star match? I don't know.
No, he certainly will not. And like that's the thing. Tony Khan even made that like because someone on one of the media scrums after a show they said like, oh, you know, Danhausen's kind of like Orange Cassidy. And Tony fucking stopped him. He's like, no. Orange Cassidy is a fantastic wrestler.
Oh.
So like I kind of just
fucking love
hope
it.
that Danhausen tries to curse him. He just throws him once and gets the pin, and then walks out, and it's over. Like that's what I want this to be.
Kid's got throws, man. He's really good.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. You watch him, and you're like, oh yeah, this guy knows what the fuck he's doing. Like he's legit. Like
Oh, yeah.
You can tell he's legit, and that's not always something you see, even from the guys that like, you know, come from these MMA backgrounds, whatever. Like they don't look that good. He's good at wrestling.
Yep.
And he's got fucking judo for days, son. Like,
And he
those
looks
Seinagi's
cool.
Are pit
Yep.
perfect. He looks cool.
He is-
with his dumbass Goku hair. Like,
Taz's hot son.
I saw on Twitter today Taz is
how
doing
hot is Taz's wife? Like how fucking hot is Taz's wife?
No, she's
Gotta
not.
be, right?
Like she looks like she would be married to Taz.
Oh, I gotta see this.
Yeah.
Like they're two perfectly normal looking people. Like I don't know how.
Who just birthed an Adonis.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how it happened, but good for them. They did it.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got. We covered the tag division is weird right now.
Yeah, I
Because-
really think the tag division they need they need a trios belt. Like they're building up so many trios.
But you don't.
Yeah. No, that
you've
would-
got the Ring of Honor trios belt, so just use that.
Oh, that is true. Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Because didn't they sign those guys that were the trios champions?
Honestly, I don't remember who was the last trios champion.
What was the one dude's name? It was Khan, I think.
Oh yeah, the Shane Taylor
Yes.
promotions.
I thought those dudes were
they
trios
signed
champs.
one of them. Yeah, I'm not sure about the other two, but yeah, that's right. They were the final champions, weren't they? So yeah, no, that would actually be a good way to do it because it's like you've got a, but like right now the tag belts. I don't know. They feel like an afterthought. Like
Which is very strange considering how they were super big on their tag division when they first started.
yeah, but like the Jungle Express run has not been great, and that's really
It's been
surprising.
fine. It's just been it's just been kind of unremarkable.
Yeah,
Like I mean, they're good. You know,
Yeah.
they're good, and I think they have fun matches. I like what Christian's doing, but like you know, you got Phoenix is out with that nightmare fucking injury.
yeah.
So that's no Lucha Brothers. The Bucks
Oh, and you
are
got
fucking
Penta
around with-
playing dress up.
Yeah,
They really need to
Penta-
stop that.
Yeah.
Penta is fine. They need to stop Alex Abrahantes from playing dress up.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, I
That shit is lame.
don't like that they're just like, oh, here's Penta is darker and scarier than ever, and he wrestles the exact same way he always did.
But he has a shovel now, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
He does have a shovel now.
Yeah, like
And
I hate it.
And a spooky wizard that sings his theme music. Okay. That bothers me that Abrahantes does that for Penta's music, and it also bothers me that Ruby Soho lip syncs her theme music. Please, wrestlers, stop doing that.
Yeah.
It weirds me out.
Man, Ruby Soho's kind of a dud, wasn't she?
I don't know, because the theory is that she went to Dark to kind of build up wins, and she's in the Owen Hart tournament.
Yeah, but I feel like
It's just
she hasn't delivered to being a great wrestler.
Yeah, but it's the nature of they're debuting new people every week.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they got to make sure fucking Red Velvet gets a win.
Exactly.
Stir it up.
Stir it up.
I don't mean
Fuck
to
your
shit on
mom.
Red Velvet, but I just don't like Red Velvet.
She's coming to fuck all our moms.
I like
So
her as
fucking boring.
muscle for Jade, like a hanger on.
Yeah, I'm fine with this role.
Yeah, but don't try to tell me I'm supposed to cheer for fucking Red Velvet's lame ass. It's never gonna happen.
Yeah,
No,
we never needed that extended feud between Red Velvet and Layla Hirsch.
And Chris Statlander.
No,
And
because
Chris Statlander.
Yeah, because Chris Statlander is better than both of them combined.
Yeah.
And you can kind of say the same thing as Chris Statlander, where, you know, they had this big transformation, and then what?
She wears dark pants now.
Well, like, we've had no follow-up, and it's just the nature of there's so much television and so many people
It's
that
a
they're
lot.
covering.
It's a lot, yeah.
Yeah. It's almost like there's not enough television because they just have so many people and they're trying to do so much with them.
See, but I kind of like, though, that you don't see everybody every week because they
Yes.
find that amount of television. Like, I don't mind that. So.
Yeah, and it also keeps people's bodies
Yes.
in shape.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Apparently, Kenny was wrestling with 2 fucked up knees and a back for months before losing the title.
Yeah, he was in rough shape. I don't know if he's going to be back in June for that New Japan show or not.
And speaking of
Damn.
that and the whole Ring of Honor thing, AEW and Tony Khan are doing the invasion angle better than WWE ever did.
Yeah.
And it's wild because you've got everybody. I mean, except for the people that are signed with WWE, but as far as Ring of Honor goes, they've got some of the biggest former names: Samoa Joe, CM Punk, Bryan Danielson. You've got all of current New Japan, and then all of these characters and wrestlers are interchangeable between all of these companies.
Yeah.
It's wild. Wild shit, man.
And they've got relationships going with DDT and Tokyo Joshi, too. It's like they can bring in so much talent once borders are more relaxed, and they're getting there. I mean, Konosuke Takeshita from DDT is working Dark. I think he was on Elevation this week.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so he should be around soon. Like, he's great. I really hope we see more of him than him just being on Dark.
And Jeff Cobb is with New Japan right now, right?
Yes, he pretty much lives
right?
in Japan as far as I know. Like, I saw him at the New Japan show I went to, but, like, I'm pretty sure for the most part he just spends his time over there now.
Again, probably a pretty good idea.
Yeah, yeah, because he's
Comparatively
one of
speaking.
the heavyweight tag champs right now.
Yeah, I believe it. It's a big old boy.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah, it's kind of, he could fucking show up at any point between now and the end of June. He can
Yeah.
fucking pop up on TV and be like, "Oh, look at that! How fucking rad!"
Yeah.
It's the monster Matanza Cueto.
And also to go with anyone could show up. Remember that time Nick Gage showed up
Yeah.
You're goddamn right, I do.
and hit Chris Jericho with light tubes on national TV? What a
Chris
wild
Jericho.
time that was.
Fuck Chris Jericho so much.
I am really enjoying what he's doing now with the sports entertainment stuff.
Ugh.
I do.
Ugh.
No.
Like, that's my Dan Lambert, is the whole Jericho Appreciation Society. Like, I appreciate that he's getting these boys over, but it's so ridiculous. And the fact that Daniel Garcia came into the building wearing a Kangol bucket hat and then came out to the ring wearing a backwards Kangol cap blew my mind.
So good.
Looking like a fucking newsboy. Great. And
I
the
love
one
the
fucking
2.0
blockheaded
guys.
dude- yeah, the one fucking blockheaded guy who's always very animated when he talks. Like, I fucking
Yep.
love that guy.
And his crazy eyes constantly.
Yeah, eyes are insane. Like, that guy's fucking
Yeah.
great. I'm into it.
Hager and Jericho, I could fucking take or leave, but the rest
Yeah.
of the guys, good for them.
Yeah. And I really think they're setting up, like, you know how AEW they're saying, like, they've got the 4 pillars.
Mm-hmm.
I think you gotta, for sure now, a 5th with Wheeler Yuta.
Fuck yeah, Wheeler Yuta.
And I think you might have a 6th and 7th with Daniel Garcia and Hook, too.
I think at this point, you're almost second level of pillars.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which is awesome because for as much as we talked about them bringing in a bunch of NXT and WWE guys, like, they do have still a really solid pool of kind of, you know, homegrown talent. You know,
Yeah.
like they're Darby Allin's not going anywhere. You know, MJF's not. Well, MJF might go somewhere.
I mean,
Yeah.
Darby Allin might go
Allin.
somewhere too.
He might, but like he's, you know, always got that steady push. Like, he's always doing cool shit on TV. Like, that's great. You know, that guy's good for him. They're still
Gets to hang out with his crazy grandpa Sting.
crazy Grandpa Sting. I gotta tell you, when Sting came back, my immediate reaction was like, "Fucking why? Like, why the fuck is Sting back? He's a million years old. Like, what's the fucking point of this?"
They ruined him in
you know-
WWE.
Yep.
Yeah, but then they hitched him up with Darby, and they had this weird kind of like mentor-mentee thing going on. Then he started doing like this, he did the crazy cinematic match in the warehouse, which was fucking dope. It was
That
like
was
the best of all those cinematic matches for sure. And then he starts doing like live in ring work, and you're like, "Fuck, can Sting still go?"
And then
I
he's like,
think
check it
Sting
out,
can
now I'm
still
New
go.
Jack.
yeah. Like, what the fuck? Fucking unreal.
Yeah, no, Sting, I love Sting. He's always been cool. Like, this is just, it's great. I'm so happy that he seems to be just having the time of his life.
He just loves
Yeah,
falling off of things.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I jumped off this high thing and didn't die. I want to. Fuck, can that be my new thing now? Can I be the
Yeah.
jumps off high things and doesn't die guy? And like, fucking go for it, Sting. Your show.
I think it was Wrestling Observer was talking about it, how, you know, with a lot of dives, you see the guys who are supposed to catch the person diving get out of the way because they see, like, they're doing twists, they're going to get a knee to the face or an elbow or something. But Sting is just falling straight down, and it's Sting, so they all catch him every time.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone catches Sting. Yeah.
Like,
It's like, remember when DDP did that dive off the top rope? Like, everyone caught Diamond Dallas Page.
Yep.
Like, no one was going to drop DDP. And
you
get
don't
him
want to
on
be
TV.
Sim Snuka.
Yeah. No, fucking Sting's rad. I'm liking Hangman's run as champ. He
Yes.
seems like a real sweet boy. I'm glad he's doing well.
The only problem I have with his run right now is that he doesn't usually feel like the main character of the show, and he should.
Right.
That is fair. That's fair. Yeah.
It's just tough because you got Punk, you got Danielson, you got Moxley, you got the Bucks. I don't know. I think, is it episode to episode that there's a main character?
I guess
Almost?
kind
Because there's
of.
just so many characters.
Yeah.
And I'm loving everything that they're doing with William Regal and the Black Bolt Baker Club, whatever the fuck they called them. Like,
Yeah.
I love that shit.
And
Like,
that's going to end up with them
every time
going
he
up
gets on
against
the
the sports
microphone-
entertainers.
Yeah, because they're setting up for, like, we're gonna get some good ass Yuta versus Daniel Garcia matches out of this.
I love that William Regal calls Excalibur "Man in the Mask" every time he sits down. I think that's just delightful.
Man in the mask.
Danhausen justified his existence by showing up and having William Regal ask who the demonic waif was.
It really is something, like, for someone who has a passing knowledge of what a Danhausen is, they certainly have not explained him on AEW television at all.
Not a bit.
No, not at all. And it's fucking strange because, like, I very tangentially know what a Danhausen is. Like, just from retweets more than anything. And I'm like, they're just going to fucking roll with it? Okay. Like, I remember when they first started the show, they were like, fucking, are people going to wonder why Excalibur is wearing a mask? Not one time did I think about that. Like, I figured,
No.
this guy probably used to be a wrestler, wears a mask. And then guess what? I was right. You know? But then you don't need to explain that. No. But maybe you want to give folks at home a little context to the creepy waif. The demonic creepy waif. Very odd.
But, this match with Hook might answer it all.
Yeah.
And get them both over in the process.
Out of his mouth. Fucking love it. It's fun, man. It's a good time. Like,
I look forward to it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because like you said, it's been just banger shows for months now, I feel like.
Yeah.
It's
a
like,
couple weeks ago, there was a Dynamite, and I'm like, this is like a pay-per-view card.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
truly
It was, but it
can't
wasn't
miss
the Dynamite a month
television.
ago.
Because you feel like you're going to miss a match of the year if you don't watch.
Yeah. And
they
like,
don't
now
do
you
that
can't even
thing-
skip Rampage.
Yeah, I mean, that was the plan, right?
Well, because for a while, I felt like you could get away with not watching Rampage. But now it's just
Because
like,
they don't do that thing WWE does, where if there's anything that remotely, or hell, even not interesting at all happens, don't worry, WWE is going to show you a replay of it 7 times on that same show.
yeah.
They're going to call back and show you some shit that happened in a match you've already seen that night,
If there's
And they don't do that shit.
anything on the show that shows how much they need a little bit more time, it's hearing Excalibur tell you what's coming next week, and hearing
fucking
his
love it.
head almost explode every single time.
Because there's so much shit. There's
so much.
They're telling you what kind of cool shit we're going to have on the next 3 episodes of this show. Every episode.
right?
And it's all pay-per-view quality, like dream matchups, and just on regular television.
The fact that he hasn't stumbled over his words once doing those crazy promo things is insane.
It's very impressive.
Because if it was me, I would screw it up right away and just destroy the entire thing
Yeah.
at that point. Because they've
Get halfway
gone
through the
down
second
5
match,
match
just go,
graphics. Yeah, they're showing 5 different match graphics I never even talked about. It's like the fucking I Love Lucy in the Chocolate Factory.
What's great too is you're getting excited for the next week of shows, and some of these matches that they're announcing, like storyline wise, doesn't make any sense, but you're like, that matchup is fantastic. I will love to watch that. Thank you very much.
It goes to show, because for years WWE didn't really do this, and they still don't, where it's you can have matches just because they're good matches.
Yeah, they're competitors. They're athletes.
Not everything needs to have a wacky little story with it. And the one thing that shows how much work they've done to get me to care about someone recently, they're doing the FTR bald versus FTR hair match tomorrow night, and I fucking can't wait.
Right, because they're gonna bring it.
Yeah.
And they've been
used
great
to not
recently.
Give a shit about those guys.
Yeah, I know.
But I've completely turned around on them with this face turn. They've been doing great work lately.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
speaking of,
you can feel it off of them. You know what I mean? You can feel it coming off of them. Like it's been great.
Some of the best stuff on the show has been the Wardlow stuff.
Yeah.
Him tearing through security. He's so goddamn over.
Yep.
Oh, when they fucking cuffed him to take him to and from the ring last week, I'm like, that's some wild shit. And it's gonna be so good when he just beats the fucking brakes off of MJF. It's gonna be wonderful. Like it's the long game, and I love it.
One of my favorite things about AEW now is not even really AEW. It's that AEW airs on New Japan World now.
Oh,
and they do new commentary with New Japan wrestlers, like, and their normal like play-by-play guy. So, and then there's a guy I follow on Twitter whose name escapes me right now that does like translation threads. So it's fun to read through the New Japan wrestlers' thoughts on everything, because they kind of just talk about it as if they're a fan. Because there's a lot of guys that are like, oh, I'm not super familiar with this guy, and like Shingo Takagi, he was just like, this Wardlow guy rules. He's huge. He's beating up all these people. I love this guy. But it's really fun to watch these guys, or to read these guys talk about the stuff, because especially when it's like guys who have worked in America, they're like, oh, I remember this guy. I wrestled him like 10 years ago. Or, oh, I know that referee. He's nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that AEW has a dude like Lance Archer and more like him, where they just throw him as a roadblock to a character.
Yes.
Loses to the character, but doesn't get buried because of it. Still like whips ass, but loses, but he's still a monster.
You need a gatekeeper.
Yeah.
Like, he's perfect for that role. And that was another guy. El Desperado was doing commentary on the show with the Adam Page, Adam Cole, Texas Death Match. They mentioned, it's like, oh, you know, the Page beat Lance Archer in one of these matches before. And he was like, he beat Lance? It's like, well, he's got my respect now. Because they're in the same faction together. They're in Suzuki-gun.
That's fucking rad.
Yeah, but then Lance gets a win over somebody like Dustin Rhodes, and it's like, oh, okay, cool. He's back to winning again.
Yeah, it all evens out.
He's somebody that you could plug into a TNT title feud or world title feud at any moment just to kill a week and a half.
Yeah,
and every once in a while,
you need guys like that.
They feed him a Serpentico.
Yeah.
For the fun of it. God, when I think it was last week, I think, where he fought Serpentico, and he, like, you know, Serpentico is going to fucking get the jump on him before the match starts. And he topes out, and Lance Archer doesn't even move. He just bounces off of him, and you're like, okay, wrestling bullshit aside, that's a grown man jumping into another grown man with all of his might. And, like, he doesn't even, like, move.
No.
he just bounces off him and falls. And they didn't even turn off his theme music.
Fuck yeah. They wrestled the whole match with his theme music.
Like, holy shit.
Remember when
Big
Sin
son of a
Cara
bitch.
had the weird lights?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That was bizarre.
And then they did it with The Fiend, too.
They sure did.
Oh, God.
You know who I'm glad has never shown up in AEW?
Yes.
Doesn't really
Who's that,
seem
Kelly?
like he's ever going to show up.
Who's that, Kelly?
Oh, that's the Fiend?
Oh, yeah.
Or sorry, Wyndham Rotunda?
Did you just say Wyndham Rotunda?
Yeah. I sure did.
Yeah, Lee.
Wrestler or porn star?
That's his name. Because
Wyndham Rotunda.
Because he's Mike Rotunda's son, who was IRS, and his grandfather is, or no, his Barry Windham is his uncle, so Wyndham. Right?
I think so. I think that's how that works.
He's running with Wyndham Rotunda.
I mean, I don't know
Okay.
if that's what he's going with, but that's what he was saddled with.
Oh, that's his actual Christian name.
I believe so.
I think it is.
Oh, that's fucked up. That's fucked up.
Wyndham Lawrence Rotunda.
And he got a Lawrence in the middle?
Uh-huh.
It's a good thing he's big. Otherwise, he'd have been a fucking walking wedgie. That's rough, man.
Yeah, we're gonna have to tell Mahoney that name at some point.
And he's fucking Bo Dallas's brother?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy conspiracy
Michael
theorist Bo
Rotunda.
Dallas.
Oh, I didn't know that Bo Dallas was a conspiracy theorist.
Oh yeah.
That
Bo Dallas
kind
is into
of
some
went
weird
around
shit.
NXT, huh?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he is in all sorts of like crazy alien shit.
Wyndham Rotunda.
Like we need Bo Dallas and Jose to sit down.
Oh, that is something else.
Jose and Drake Wirtz.
Oh no. Ugh.
Yeah, man. AEW is cool.
Yeah, they're doing good. As we talked about, they've got things they can fix, but for the most part, really, really solid product
Humming.
right now.
Humming, and they don't
It's
even
fun to
have
watch.
everybody.
Yeah.
It's always fun to watch. It's great. Would recommend.
I, however, would recommend they cut an hour off of their pay-per-views.
Pay-per-views get too long.
They give you your money's worth, but sometimes, it's like the whole debate over, can't we just watch 90-minute movies these days?
Yeah.
Like, just because it's 90 minutes doesn't mean I feel like I didn't get my money's worth if it's good.
I think they need to switch from the quarterly pay-per-view model to every other month and then change it to 3 hours instead of 4.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, because they do kind of do these special editions, like the Battle of the Belts and stuff like that, pretty often to where they could make that schedule work.
Yeah. And like I get TNT, TBS probably wants them to do more big matches on the TV. Like I understand that. But I don't know. It feels like they need some more wiggle room. Because while they do have a lot of like TV and the internet stuff, it still feels like there's not enough time.
But consider Ring of Honor being its own thing.
Yeah, we still have to see what's going to happen with that.
Yeah.
Because for right now, there is no Ring of Honor TV. Like they finished up their run on the Sinclair stations, and there's nothing right now.
But that's not going to sit well with TK.
No, exactly. He's got to book another show.
Hell yeah.
Got to do some more
all
coke
the
and
good toys.
write some more shows.
Allegedly. I'm sorry. I'm just looking at pictures of Barry Wyatt's goofy ass next to Wyndham Lawrence Rotunda, and it's fucking me up. That is
Barry
an
White?
unfortunate name. Bray
Barry
Wyatt.
Oh, okay.
That is an unfortunate name. I just can't get over it. All right, let's land this fucking bird, because I got to go get my last bit of eat and drink on for the night.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Get that dick prep.
Yeah, watch some
Leave it.
porn.
I'm going to do some cock push-ups. It's going to be great. Trick is, you just got to do the one.
You can only really do one.
Yeah, all you got to do is just one.
When the guy asked you if you were going to that show, you should have been like, "Hey, hold on, before you go, did you think my dick looked cool?"
That's okay. I know it didn't. Although, when we were back upstairs and everything, like I had to go empty my bag, and I fucking went to the bathroom, and I fucking emptied the bag, and then had to clean all the iodine and shit off my dick, and I caught a glimpse in the mirror, and I'm like, what? This is a solid hang. Where the fuck were you at an hour ago, man? Like you're looking like something. There's no one around. What are you doing? Come on.
I don't know
We're
why,
just,
but I
so-
thought you looked in the mirror and turned into the elephant man. You're like, I'm not an animal.
Your dick's like,
It's like
there's nobody around. I'm not nervous anymore.
He was just so relieved and was like, and just let it out
so
for a
nice,
minute. Like,
so nice just to be you and me again, Lee.
watching
An
the
upsetting
grain of bag
voice
of
for
piss.
his dick. I would be so scared if my dick started talking in that voice.
What do you mean, Kelly? What's going on?
Oh no!
You got to...
I don't,
I think
Well,
I
I
would
don't know
rather
if
have
we-
my dick talk like Goldar.
Hey, Kelly.
There we go. That's right.
I don't
Let me
know if
tell
I
you about your
discussed it on the
mom.
show or not. Like, I don't know if I talked about it on the show or not, but I know I told you in our group chat that I decided that when my hole talks to me, it talks to me in the voice of the late great Gilbert Gottfried. Just
Oh.
busting on me for all the shit I can't do.
Just feeding it crackers.
Yeah. My fucking hole in my crotch. Talk about how it's molting.
Thinking about the statement, my whole talks in the voice of Gilbert.
Well, I mean, I feel like because of the urethra situation, that it would be like very like, I can't really project my voice
Well,
too
that's the thing,
much.
because the tube isn't talking. Like the tube hole is like nowhere near my dick. So like it's actually unfettered. It would have the most fullest voice of all of them at this point.
So is your
Or is
tube
that-
hole gonna heal, or are you just gonna have that hole in you forever now?
No, they'll stitch it up when it's out.
Okay.
But that's one of the things that sucks about getting the new one in is that because like they didn't put a stitch around it when it came out when it went in the first time. So like it's just been like an open hole with a
Yeah,
rubber
that's
tube
what
in it,
I've been wondering. Where it's just like, is that just how it's gonna be?
It's how it is, and so I've just been covering with a bandage or shit like that. And it had kind of healed around it, a bit. But then she fucking yanked the old one out and put a new one in there, and so it opened up again, like the same way it was. Like now I'm back to bleeding and shit again. Like it's like fuck, man. And again, there are people that do this their whole fucking lives, and I'm like, no, man, can't wait for this shit to be over with.
Kelly, you
Cannot
think
wait.
before they sew up his hole, we could pay the doctor to put something in there?
Oh, I bet.
Like a
I've been trying to show Kelly a picture of it for weeks, and he's like, no.
Yeah, no, I'll have the doctor do it.
hey doc, slip a banana flavored runt in there before you sew it up.
Oh my god, be real fun passing that.
You're just always like, banana?
All right, Doc, here, I got this little thing for you. Yes, it is a promo keychain from the 2008 film Frank Miller's The Spirit. When you press this here button, it makes a scream, and it says, I am the spirit. So yeah, just shove that in there, so every time he bumps into the refrigerator, he makes the spirit sound.
I really like the spirit, but I only saw it once.
I've never seen that movie, but every now and then at work I come across one of those keychains because we have a billion of them around the shop.
I was so hard for that Sin City style, so the spirit was just like more of this.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Good time. All right, I'm gonna go have a late night snack. We may or may not have a show next week. Depends on how my taint's healing. We'll see how it goes.
Sounds good.
Or
It'd be
I
so
may or may not be on
reduced.
it. You guys can have a show if you want.
Yeah,
Jose
we're gonna
might
do
be
this-
back in town.
Yeah, we'll do the state of WWE.
Hey,
and we'll
look
talk
at
to Mahoney about it.
Oh my god. No thank
Yeah,
you.
there you go. He'll be fucking. So SummerSlam is going to be in Nashville, which is right up the road from here.
Don't do that. Don't go.
And, my good friend
No.
sends me a text message the other day. He's like, "Hey, do you want to go to SummerSlam?" Our buddy, Jay's is going. Wants to know if you want to go, and he said,
We lost him.
Okay, cool. I thought it was
cheap
just
seats
me.
are $25. We're gonna go, and I said, "You'd have a hell of a lot more than $25." to go to SummerSlam.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Shit, not gonna pay someone $25.
Yeah, probably the lowest ticket is $80.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, you keep cutting in and out.
No, okay.
It keeps like pausing you and like it does with
Alright.
Jose. But
Yeah.
take it home.
All right. All right, we're gonna fucking land this bird. Come back probably next week at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central at YouTube on Pages. I'll have, a surgery tale of one form or another. We'll see how it goes. And, maybe Jose will be here, maybe Mahoney will be here, maybe be the whole fucking crew. We'll see what happens. So for Jason Nyes and Kelly Harris, I'm the Lord Lee Rodriguez. We'll talk to you fools next week. Night. Love you. Bye-bye.
Demonetize this. Demonetize this.
You fucking Google ass bitch.
Demonetize this. Demonetize this.
Fucking Google something.
Demonetize this.
Holy shit.
Demonetize this.
You fucking Google ass bitch.
Demonetize this.
I didn't want to say it.
Demonetize this.
What are you, some kind of bitch?
Whoa.
Demonetize this.
You fucking
Google ass bitch.
Demonetize this.
Why you keep bugging us, YouTube?
Demonetize this.
You fucking Google ass bitch. That's it. Show's over. We're done.
See you next Tuesday.